Hey students, Miss Hare here. I'm going to go through your Unit 6 study guide with you on statistics, including the graphing, mean, median, mode, range, box and whisker, histogram, dot plot. So hopefully this video will help you answer any questions that you have about the study guide. We'll review in class on Monday and Tuesday, the 19th and 20th, and your test is on the 21st and 22nd. I'm going to start with number 1. Describe how to identify a statistical question. Remember, if it needs to be statistical, you have to have a variety of answers. Okay? You can't go up to John and say, how many dogs do you have? Because John's going to tell you one answer. I can't go ask the question, how many classrooms are in Lovingood? Because I'm going to get one answer. But I could ask all the students in my whole school, how many brothers and sisters do you have? Or I could ask all the kids in my class, what's your favorite food for lunch? You have to make sure that you have a variety of answers if you want it to be a statistical question. Number 2, which of the following is a statistical question? Explain your reasoning. So keyword here, we want one that is. A, how tall is the governor of our state? How many foreign countries have each of the students in the class visited? What is the temperature right now in Powder Springs, Georgia? What are the colors of the U.S. flag? So, what are the colors of the U.S. flag? We know are red, white, and blue, right? Red, white, and blue. There's a specific one answer, red, white, and blue. What is the temperature right now in Powder Springs? That's going to give me one answer. Right now, maybe it's 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Maybe it's 50 degrees Fahrenheit. How many foreign countries has each of the students in the classroom visited? So if I ask student 1, they might say 2. Student 2 might say 0. Student 3 might say 8. Student 4 might say 1. Student 5 might say 0. Here I'm going to get a variety of answers. So far, B looks like a good answer. How tall is the governor of our state? Well, we have one governor, so there's going to be one answer. So here we only have one answer. So A is out, A, C, and D are out. So B is your best choice. Number 3, which of the following are considered measures of spread, variability? So if you remember on the top of our notes, this was a question, I believe, on your mean, median, mode quiz. If you're talking about measures of spread, we're talking about how spread out the numbers are. That means we're talking range and interquartile range. We want to know, do the numbers go from 0 to 100? Do they go from 2 to 10? What is the spread of the data? Okay, which of the following are considered measures of center? So measures of center. What's in the middle? What's the average? What's the most common? That's where you're going to use mean, median, and mode. Okay, so measures of center, measures of spread. Two totally different things. So it makes you understand why we learn these things. Valdemir recorded the number of siblings, brothers and sisters, each of his classmates has in the dot plot. Another word for dot plot is line plot. You've been doing line plots since 3rd grade. So don't be confused by the word dot plot. They're calling this a dot plot because they're using dots instead of what we used to use in elementary school, X's. Okay, so let's look. Like I said this in class. Look at the graph before you even answer the question. What is it telling you? Yeah, we read what it's supposed to tell us, but now let's see what the graph is showing us. So we have the number of siblings and classmate siblings. So what this means is that each of these dots represents somebody that I asked. Student 1, student 2, student 3, student 4, student 5, the number of siblings they have. So there's 5 people who have 0 siblings. Now the numbers aren't here, but these represent 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So one student in the class has 10 siblings. Whoa, that's a lot of siblings. Okay, you can answer questions like, how many people did I actually survey? I could count the dots. I have 5, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So I surveyed 21 people. So there's only one person who had 10. Most people have what? Below 5. Okay. The most common, what was the mode of the data? The most often would be 1 because the mode is the one that occurs the most. All right. So the question is, what is the range of the data? keyword here, range. So range is the maximum minus the minimum. So what's the maximum number that we got on this data was 10. The minimum we got was 0. So our range is 10. There's 10 numbers, 10 possible answers that we were able to come up with. We really only had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 possible answers because we didn't have any 6, 7, 8, or 9, but we have from 0 to 10 is our range. So the range is 10. Number 6, Trey recorded the number of ounces of water he drank each day in the histogram. So let's look at it and kind of analyze before we even read the question. Trey's daily water drinking, the amount of water in ounces, the number of days. So this is how much he drank. So he drank 1 to 10 ounces on 2 of the days. He drank 41 to 50 ounces on 7 of the days. He drank 91 to 100 ounces on, it looks like it's 3 days. Okay, never did he drink 21 to 30, just 21 to 30. Okay, so he never drank just 11 to 20 ounces. He was either less or he was more. So that's what you're looking at here. So the question is, how many days did he drink between 51 to 70 ounces? So 51 to 70 means all of these and all of these. So on this one, and sometimes you have to like get a piece of paper or something to make sure you can see what the number is. So this one is 4, and then this one looks like it's 5. So 4 times he drank 51 to 60 ounces, and 5 times he drank 61 to 70 ounces. So how many days did he drink? 51 to 70 ounces. 4 plus 5 is 9 days. So on 9 days, he drank between 51 and 70 ounces. How many days did he drink 41 ounces? Well, we don't know how many days. We know how many days he drank between 41 and 50, but we don't know how many days he drank exactly 41. So cannot be determined. Okay, we can't tell. We can't tell how many days he drank 41 ounces. We know how many days he drank between 41 and 50, 7. So this can't be determined. That question cannot be determined. All right, let's look at number 7. Brandon recorded the weights in pounds of the fish caught while fishing with his uncle. His data is shown below. So these are the pounds of the fish. So they caught a fish that was 4 pounds, 11 pounds, 15 pounds, 8, 10, 6. You get the point. Determine the mean, median, mode, and range of the data. Round the mean to the nearest tenth. So we must be going to get it a decimal. So if you remember tenths place, you have your ones place, tenths place, hundreds place. So you got to go 2 decimal places. Look here to round it. So let's start with the mode. Mode's pretty easy. Remember, mode is the most often. Remember that O in mode for often. So if I look at the numbers, which one occurred the most? I see 6 occurred twice. And nothing else occurred twice. So our mode would be 6. Okay, done with the mode. I'm going to do range next. Remember, we want to know the minimum, the maximum minus the minimum. So our maximum weight of our fish was 15, and our minimum weight was 4. Ooh, I think I see a mistake I made too. Look, we have 2 4s. Here's a 4 and here's a 4. Here's a 6 and here's a 6. So we actually have 2 modes. We have 6 and 4. I should have used Ms. Straka's trick where Ms. Straka always said to put the numbers in order. If you put the numbers in order, you're able to see numbers repeat. So I should have done that first. So I'm going to go ahead and put them in order. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 15. And I'm going to make sure that I 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 15 ran in over here. So I'm going to count when I put them in order to make sure I've got all the numbers. So you can see I have a mode that 4 occurred twice and 6. So my mode is actually 6 and 4. I have 2 modes. Range, maximum minus the minimum. Minimum is 4, maximum is 15. So 15 minus 4 should be 11. So my range is 11. Median. Median is the one that you have to put in order. Remember median when you're driving down the road and you have the lanes over here and the lanes over here. The big cement thing with the trees is called the median. It's in the middle. So we want to know which number's in the middle. In order to find the middle, we have to put them in order. So luckily we put them in order, and I'm going to cross off 1 on each side until I get to the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So our middle is 7. So our median is 7. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 on each side, 7's in the middle. Your mean. Your mean is the one that takes the most calculating. We're going to add them all up, and then we're going to divide by the number. So add them up, all these numbers, and then we're going to divide by 11 because there's 11 pieces of data. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to add these up. 4 plus 4 is 8. Plus 5 is 13. 13 plus 12. I'm going to grab my calculator. 13 plus 12. So that's 8 plus 5 is 13. Plus 12 is 25. And 7 plus 8 is 15. So I'm going to add 15. 9 and 10 make 19. So I'm going to add 19. And 11 and 15. So plus 11 plus 15. I think I should get 85. I'm going to double check it and do it one more time. Make sure I didn't make any mistakes. And I did get 85 again. So I'm going to divide that by 11 because there's 11 pieces of data. So look at my decimals. My decimal I received, 7.727. So in order to round to the nearest tenth, that means I underline the tens place and I look next door. The 2 does not tell the 7 to go up. 2, remember, has to be 5 or higher. So my answer for the mean should be 7.7. Okay, and I think I got them all. Mean, median, mode, and range. I think we're done. Jordan's test scores. What is his average or the mean? So how do you find the average of your test scores? You add them all up and you divide by the number of data. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm going to divide by 7. I need to add them all up. 85 plus 90 plus 89 plus 75 plus 90 plus 92 plus 81 divided by 7. I got 602. I'm going to divide by 7 and I got 86. So this is my average of 86. I got a little low one there. I've got a couple high ones. So it averages out to be 86. Again, double check. Make sure you have added correctly. I always like to do it twice. And I think I got it. 602. Okay. Number 9. Adam recorded the number of flower blooms on each of his 10 rose bushes. Determine the median of his data. So median. So in order to do median, we got to find the middle. So we got to put them in order. I'm going to put 4. And then I got a 9. And it looks like I've got 2 10s. Don't just write the 10 once. You got to write it as many times as you see it. 12, 13, 14, 15, 17, and 18. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now I'm going to cross one off from each side. And what you're going to notice is because we have an even number of data, we have 2 middle numbers. So since we have 2 middle numbers, we have to add them together, and which gives me 25, and then I have to divide by 2. So there's an even number of data. So up here we had 11 pieces of data, so we were able to find the middle. 5 on each side. The 6th one is in the middle. Here we've got 4 on each side, but we got 2. So we have to add them together and then divide by 2. Or here, since the 12 and 13, they're next to each other, what's between 12 and 13 is 12.5. So 25 divided by 2 is 12.5. So your median would be 12.5. Which box plot has a median of 12? So let's think about our box and whisker plots now. Think about your notes and think about what each point on the graph means. We care about the median, okay? These are kind of fuzzy, just so you know, but it also says flower blooms on rose bushes. So remember, this is your minimum, this is your maximum. You have your lower quartile and your upper quartile, and your median is the bar in the middle. So we need the one that says 12. So this one looks like 12. This one looks like 10. This one looks like it's between 8 and 10, which would be 9. And this one looks like it's right at 10 as well. So which one has 12 as the median? Graph A. Okay, moving on. Answer the questions about the box and whisker. The number of items bought at the grocery store. So we want to see, we must have surveyed some people and asked them, how many things did you buy at the grocery store? So again, in order to answer any of these questions, just like we did on the last one, label them: median, maximum, your median, your lower quartile, and your upper quartile. What is the maximum value? So your maximum value is this dot right here. So maximum was 65. Your median is the bar in the middle of the box, which is 55. What percent of the data is below 40? So remember that even though this box is larger than this box, this still represents 25% of the data. And from here to here represents 25% of the data. From here to here represents 25% of the data, and 25% of the data from here to here. This just means that there's a bigger range of the data in this section. It doesn't mean that there's more. It just means the range is got a bigger data. So what percent of the data is below 40? So below 40. So we want from here and below. So that would be from the lower quartile and below. So that would be 25% of the data is below 40. Okay? What percent of the data is above 40? So above 40 means lower quartile all the way up. So that means this section, and this section. So that makes 75% of the data. What is the inner quartile range? IQR. Hopefully you remember interquartile range. And range is exactly what it means, the difference between the highest and lowest, but this time we care about the upper quartile and the lower quartile. So it's the upper quartile minus the lower quartile. So the upper quartile is 60, the lower quartile is 40. 60 minus 40 is 20. So your inner quartile range. So range, you know you're going to be subtracting, and we're talking about this middle 50%. Okay. What percent of the data is below 55? So go to 55, which is here, and what percent of the data is below that? Well, we got 25% of the data here, and then 25% more, so that makes 50% of the data. What percent of the data is above 60? So we want to go 60 and above. That means we're just going from here to the max. So that's 25% of the data. Okay, the owner of an independent music store monitored CD sales over a period of days. The histogram shows the results. So this graph's a little tricky. Let's look at it, okay? So you have CD sales and the number of CDs sold, and this is the number of days. So how many days were 0 CDs sold? 2. So I'm guessing we're counting by tens here, so this is 10 days. So here we have 10 days, 10 CDs were sold between 10 and 20. So this is between 0 and 10, and this is between 10 and 20. Between 10 and 20 CDs were sold on 3 of the days. Explain the empty 80 to 90 interval. So why is this empty? Okay, well, this is the number of CDs sold. So what this is telling you is that none of the days did they sell between 80 and 90. They either sold below 80 or they sold above 90. They never sold between 80 and 90. They never sold 81 on any day. They never sold 82 on any day. They never sold 83 on any day. So that's what you need to explain here. That no CDs, I should say, there was never 81 to 90 or 80 to 90 CDs sold on any day. Never did they sell between 80 and 90 CDs. It was either below or above. They never sold between 80 and 90. There was never 80 to 90 CDs sold on any of the days. Okay. 19. Examine the box and whisker plot below, which shows the length of fish in centimeters that were caught one afternoon by a group of campers. Which statement about the data in the graph is true? I want to remind you too about a box and whisker plot. A box and whisker plot, I have no idea how many campers they actually asked. Remember that. Okay, I don't know if they asked 100 people in the group of campers, 300 people in the group of campers. This box and whisker plot, I can't answer that question. A box and whisker plot is only good for spread, only showing me the least number of fish caught and the most number of fish caught. So the least number of fish that were caught were 5, because that's 4 and that's 6, that's 5. And the most number of fish that were caught were 20. So minimum, I already automatically see this answer. The maximum value is 14. No, my maximum value was what? 20. So B can't be right. I'm looking for something that's true. This is false. Okay, the median is the line right here. The median is 12. The median is 12. Oh, well, that's true. Maybe that's my answer. Interquartile range. Remember, interquartile range is the upper minus the lower. Now, this one is in between. This is 9, and this is 8.5. So, interquartile range would be 14 minus 8.5. So 14 minus 8.5, let's see what the interquartile range. It's a decimal, so I already know that it's not correct, that it's not going to be 4, because if it's a decimal, then my int is going to be a decimal. And it should be 5.5. So this is not correct either. That's false, okay? Because it's not 4. The range is 5.5. Well, the range is the maximum minus the minimum. The range is max minus the min. The max is 20 minus the min, which is 5, is 15. They actually mixed it up with interquartile range. So that's also false. This is false. So this is the only one that's true. The median is 12, because remember that line tells you the middle of the data. Make sure you have your notes for the test, because you can use your notes for the test. So if you have those handy, that will be very helpful, those people at home and those people at school. If you have any questions, feel free to email Miss Hare or Miss Straka. I'll be glad to help. See you soon.